In the heart of Ukonu, where the red earth cracked like old pottery and palm trees swayed like gossiping elders, lived a girl named Nwakaego. She was the kind of beauty that made women whisper and men forget their promises. Her skin shimmered like roasted cola. Her eyes held the calm mischief of the river goddess, and her laughter could make a chief's goat lose its way. Nwakaigo sold peppers in the market with her mother, and though many men brought cowries and promises, she remained untouched, guarded not by arrogance, but by something deeper. Her heart belonged to one man, Obina, the blacksmith's son, whose shoulders bore the heat of the forge, and whose voice could melt yam like butter in a hot pot. But Obina had never said he loved her. He smiled, he helped her chase goats from her stall, he even brought her roasted corn from time to time. But the words she longed for, the ones every girl in Ukonu whispered into her mat at night, those he never gave. So when the winds of change blew into Ukonu, they brought with them more than dust. A new girl arrived from the distant village of Idemili, a light-skinned beauty named Chika, with gold rings on her fingers and the smell of foreign charms on her skin. Her father, a rich palm oil merchant, had bought land in Ukonu, and Chika, she had her eyes set on Obina. It began slowly. Chika would walk past Obina's forge with a sway in her hips like a snake dancing to a flute. She would bring him fruit, offer him sweetened pap, and giggle like rain on a zinc roof. Within a week, Obina, Eagle's Obina, was helping her carry water. And Nwakego, she stood in a market, peppers wilting beside her as the village began to talk. Chika used charm, the women whispered, chewing kola nuts beneath the udala tree. No girl wins a man that fast unless her waist beads have been dipped in something dark. Nwakego heard it all. But what could she do? She was just a market girl. She had no golden rings, no foreign perfumes, no spells, or so everyone thought. Because on the night of the full moon, Nwakego did something no one expected. She slipped into the forest, past the spirits of the Iroko tree, past the grove where only women with bleeding hearts dared to go. And there, beneath the crooked shrine of Neimiri, the river goddess, she knelt, and she made a vow. If love is a war, she whispered, then let me fight with fire. The wind howled, the trees groaned, the night held its breath, for Nwakego had called upon something ancient, and in the shadows something had listened. They said no one returned from Nemiri's shrine without leaving a piece of their soul behind. That night, Nwakaigo returned home with her eyes darker than before, her steps lighter, like someone walking between two worlds. She no longer cried over Obina. She no longer watched Chika with burning jealousy. Instead, she smiled and waited. Within 7 days, Chika fell ill. Her skin lost its shine. Her voice cracked like old wood. And Obina, he returned. At first, it was innocent. Greetings in the market, laughter at the well. But by the second week, Obina was showing up with gifts, the kind only a man in love would bring. Mangoes he picked himself, bangles carved from bone, and once a song he said he dreamt of, with her name in it. But nothing comes free from the gods, and Nwakego knew it. She began to dream of water, endless rivers, ice beneath the surface, a voice that whispered, "You owe me." Chika's recovery was slow and strange. One day she woke up screaming. She took him with water. The villagers mocked her. Charms are for jealous women, they said. Obina simply chose another. But Chika was not a fool. She had brought her own charm from Idemili, a love stone buried under her pillow. And when it cracked in two, she knew she had been out-charmed. So Chika did what every scorned beauty does in folk tales. She went to the Dibia, the village priest of forgotten secrets. Give me something stronger, she begged. Let Obina return, or let her burn. The Dibia, old as dust and twice as dangerous, looked her in the eye and said, to fight a charm born of Nemiri, you must become like her. Chika left that night with more than medicine. She left with a curse. Obina changed. He laughed too loud, slept too little. Sometimes he'd sit by the river, staring into nothing, murmuring Nwakego's name like a prayer or a curse. Igo noticed. She asked him one evening as they walked under the orange sun, do you love me truly? Obina blinked. Of course. Then say it without trembling. He couldn't because love pulling him a lone way and something darker pulled him the other. During the Yem festival, a sacred time of dance and fertility, something happened. As Nwakego danced with the maidens, her feet faltered, her body seized. She collapsed, foaming at the mouth. The crowd gasped. The priestess rushed forward, sprinkled white chalk around her, and whispered, this one walks too close to the spirit world. Nwakego was carried home, lifeless but breathing. And Obina, he disappeared that night. Some said they saw him wandering into the forest, shirtless, eyes wild. Others said he was cursed, but Chika knew exactly where he was Chika. And Nwakego met at the shrine of Ani, goddess of justice, to settle the matter as old women once did, publicly. They were stripped of ornaments, no perfumes, no beads, just truth and blood. A rooster was killed, its blood poured into a calabash. The Dibia raised his staff. Whoever's charm is pure, let the calabash float toward her. Whoever's is tainted, let the spirits decide. The calabash spun, paused, tilted, then shattered. The wind howled, the ground trembled. Both girls screamed and fell, while their bodies lay cold. Their spirits wandered into the watery underworld, Nemiri's domain. There, in a palace of coral and bones, the goddess waited. You girls have toyed with love like children with fire, she said. Now choose, surrender your love, or stay here forever. Chika wept. She had only wanted to be chosen, to be seen. Nwakego stood still. Take Obina's love back, she said, voice steady, but let me return. I have a life to live. Nemiri smiled, amused. Selflessness from a girl who summoned me with blood. She waved her hand. Only one of them woke up. Obina returned to Ukonu one morning, confused, weak, but whole. He didn't remember everything, but he remembered this. He had chosen Nwakego freely, before the charms, before the madness. He found her sitting beneath the Udala tree, face calm. I remember you, he said, kneeling. And I remember what we lost, she replied. He took her hand, not as a rescuer, but as someone who had also been saved. Their wedding was like none before it. No dancers, no drums, just the sound of rainfall, soft and cleansing. The village watched as Nwakaigo, dressed in pure white, walked toward Obina. No charms, no beads of power, only a girl with a heart washed clean. Even the priestess wept. Years passed. Nwakego and Obina had 3 children, a farm, and peace. But one day, while planting yams, their daughter dug up something round and dusty. Mama, what's this? It was the old calabash, half buried beneath the earth, cracked, but still glowing faintly. Nwakego took it gently, held it to her heart, and laughed. It's nothing, she said, just an old story. But when she turned, the wind whispered through the trees, and far away the river rippled as if remembering her name.